Hello, my name's Benzenku, and welcome to the second episode of OoT Speedruns 101, The Great Deku Tree. Because this is the first episode with the dungeon, I'd like to explain how the video will go. First, I'm going to show you how to beat the dungeon as quickly as possible. Then, after defeating the boss, I'll show you how to get the dungeon item, map, compass, and big key if there is one. After that, I'll move on to Gold Skulltulas. Since this is the first dungeon, Navi likes to pester us about how to use things like climbable vines and doors. To skip this dialogue, we can quickly switch between unsheathing our sword and taking out our Deku stick, or use other methods. With good timing, the first dialogue skip only requires you to pull out your weapon once. To skip the next vine dialogue, we can do a backflip onto the chest and jump off of it and grab the vines. The Skulltulas will lose track of you if you let go of the analog stick. Here, we're going to do our first major skip. To first demonstrate the B1 skip using the Jumpslash Anti-grav, I'm going to get rid of the Skulltula that's in our way. This is only for the demonstration. First, align yourself with this wall and get into the corner. Do a backflip and throw a Deku Nut as soon as you land to stun the Skulltula. Jump slash to the left, and then do a backflip and press B in the air to draw your sword. Next, do a jump slash and hold R so that Link does not take a step back after the jump slash. Do a backflip, hold left, and mash A so that Link side hops off the web as soon as he lands on it. There are 4 frames in which Link can side hop off the web. Depending on which frame you get will determine whether you have a 1 or 2 frame window to do the next jump slash to get the anti-grav. When I'm doing my jump slashes, I like to look at the triangle in the lower right hand corner of the screen, around here. If I got the side hop on the very first frame possible, this is the frame where you would want to jump slash. Here, I skip 2 frames while pause buffering, but normally the frame before this one works too. When the triangle reaches up past your, or near your R button rather, this is a frame in which you can do the jump slash. This works on any of the other 3 frames besides the first one, which only has a 1 frame window. The other 3 have a 2 frame window. During the unpause lag, hold B. When you're practicing the B1 skip for the first few tries, try only using 1 pause buffer for the exact frame in which you need to jump slash. Once you have this timing down, instead of pausing, use B to jump slash. An unbuffered B1 skip will look something like this. What to do if you miss the anti-grav? A quick backup plan is to align yourself with this wall, and then roll into the corner until you don't move. Do 2 backflips, a side hop to the right, then a side hop to the left, and align your B button with the black mark shown. You have a few pixels to work with, so don't worry about getting it perfect. Then, do a neutral roll, and then another roll, but this time you want to hold forward right after you hit A. Hold forward, and you'll climb up. If you did the jump slash unbuffered, a weird thing with this web happens. The edges of the web do not load, and we can just backwalk off them and drop down to B2. But normally when we do the Great Deku Tree, we want to come back here using a different method to skip B1, which doesn't unload the web. So we have to burn the web. This is a trick known as flame storage, where the tip of our sword hits a flame and stores it. To get flame storage, we jump up on the left side of this block and align ourselves between the corner of the block and the torch. Then, we do a running roll off and hold right a little bit to align ourselves with the center of the torch. Then, we jump slash while in midair and try and hit the torch with the point of our sword. If done right, your Deku stick will light on fire when you pull it out. Another quick way to light your Deku stick on fire is to align yourself with this wall, turn 180 degrees, and get in the corner. Do a neutral roll, side hop right, then left, and do another neutral roll. Take out your Deku stick, and spam backflip. By moving this block, we can have an easier time getting flame storage. Jump up, align yourself, and you want to jump slash a little early. Pushing the block forward a second time will allow us to light our Deku stick without flame storage. Simply roll off and near the end of your jump, pull out your Deku stick. Once the web is burned, we can jump down into the 2-3-1 room. And gain access into the boss room with Goma. To defeat Goma in the fastest way possible, we want to store a jump slash with the Deku stick for our power crouch stat. Goma can easily be stun locked by throwing a Deku Nut while she's being injured. A lot of the time when completing the Deku Tree, we want to die at the same time as Goma so we can set up for the Ganondorf Wrong Warp. To do this, we injure ourselves to half a heart. Then, we power crouch stab Goma twice, Z-target her, and jump slash into her eye. Don't save, but continue playing. Now that we've completed the dungeon, I'd like to show you how to get the dungeon items. Because this is the first dungeon, none of the items require any tricks to get to, as you can get them all with no items in your inventory. The first is the map. Simple, right? The reason I'm showing you where all of these are is because they may be required for bingo. Navi wants to tell us how to use this door, but if we side hop and mash A, we can open the door and skip her text. Next is the fairy Slingshot, which we may need to get an upgraded bullet seed bag. Again, Navi wants to tell us how to use the door, and I failed the skip. And now we have the compass. Now that we've got all the dungeon items, I'd like to move on to the Gold Skulltulas that can be found. There are 4 Gold Skulltulas in the Deku Tree. 3 of them are pretty easy to get to. The first one can actually be found in the compass room. The other 3 can be found on B1. A quick way to get to B1 that doesn't put us on the second level of it is to Jumpslash on the middle of that platform, and it'll put us right through the hole, even if the the web is still there. The 2 Gold Skulltulas that can be found in the open room in B1 are pretty easy to get to. Although this second one can be gotten to with the Kokiri Sword Jumpslash without a setup, I find this to be a little bit more consistent. Align yourself with this wall in this corner, side hop right, neutral roll, retarget, side hop right again, and take out your sword. Soon after you jump off the ledge by just holding forward, do a jump slash. Using the backup strat I showed you earlier, we can jump back onto this floor on B1. The last Gold Skulltula can be found behind this crawl space. But we can't get him right now because we don't have any bombs. Once we get some bombs, we can get to the Gold Skulltula in this room. It should only take 6 bombs after entering the dungeon to get it, if you do the hover perfectly. After killing ourselves with Goma and setting up for the Ganondorf wrong warp, there's a few ways to get back. First is to do a Megasidehop off this Deku Baba. Walk over to the ledge, and then turn 90 degrees to the right. Don't target the Deku Baba. Move over to his left, and have him hit you until he starts snapping. On the 3rd snap, roll into his attack and then side hop. If we let go of all of our inputs, this Deku Baba cannot push us off the edge. Another thing we can try is to try and do the anti-grav again. Although I do not know the timing of it, so I can't show it. We can also use the backup strat the same as before. Once we're back in Goma's room, the position of the teleport is changed, as well as the heart piece. If we had a bottle, which we could have gotten from doing an early escape and then going to Kakariko Village, we could set up for the Ganondorf wrong warp, but we don't. So instead of doing Ganondorf, we're going to warp right into the next episode. Kakariko Village.